Mimihagi. Mimihagi is a fallen deity that operates in the outer areas of eastern Rukongai and is the right hand of the Soul King. Mimihagi governs stillness, and its counterpart is Pranita Parnkyas. When Jushiro Yukitake was 3 years old, he developed a lung disease, which caused the doctors in the area to abandon him when they could not treat it. His parents took him to Mimihagi's shrine and prayed for Mimihagi to take his lungs away, which Mimihagi did. This allowed Yukitake to survive and become a Shinigami. Appearance. When Jushiro Yukitake was a boy, Mimihagi took the form of a humanoid entity with a body shaped like an arm and a clenched right fist, with a single, large eye on the back of the fist. It wore a simple tunic and had a large band encircling the area behind the fist. In the present time, Mimihagi lacks a physical body entirely, instead appearing as an entity of Raisher in the form of living darkness that takes varying forms between his classical form, with a symbolic representation of its single eye as a shadow, and the form of a hand and arm made up of intangible darkness. During the second invasion of the Wandenreich, Yukitake activates the Kamikaki in preparation for becoming the right hand of the Soul King. When the Soul King dies, Yukitake begins the process of replacing him by allowing Mimihagi to take the rest of his body, which will allow him to replace the Soul King in exchange for his life. As he does this, a shadow resembling Mimihagi begins rising off his back before extending toward the sky as Yukitake screams in pain. Darkness erupts from Yukitake's orifices as Mimihagi continues rising into the sky. Shortly afterward, the tremors in Seoul Society stop. Mimihagi reaches the Soul King Palace, where it shocks those present upon enveloping the bifurcated Soul King. Yawatch notes Mimihagi managed to escape his eyes before demanding to know why Mimihagi is interfering, only for Mimihagi to close its eye in response. Yawatch attempts to attack Mimihagi, but he is blocked by a shadowy barrier. Wondering if the will of the Soul King no longer resides in Mimihagi, Yawatch decides to destroy both it and the Soul King, but Ichigo Kurosaki interferes, allowing Yoruichi Shihoin to set up a barrier around Mimihagi while proclaiming that they will let it become the new Soul King because it has managed to stabilize Seoul Society and is the arm of the Soul King himself. However, Yuryu Ishida appears and shoots Yoruichi in the shoulder, causing the barrier she set up to shatter. After Yoruichi is incapacitated and Ichigo is distracted, Yawatch begins ripping Mimihagi off of the Soul King. After his Shutstaff will arrive and Yuryu causes the rest of Ichigo's friends to fall off the palace, Yawatch sees Mimihagi trying to attack him and disperses it before absorbing its power, causing him to gain a pattern resembling a chain of eyes covering the left side of his body in the tremors to resume in Seoul Society. The darkness is forcibly pulled out of Yukitake, who collapses. Powers and abilities. Precognitive immunity. Mimihagi, like the Soul King, is immune to the precognitive abilities of the Almighty, which keeps it from appearing in any of Yawatch's visions, even when they are in the same room in the future. Precognition. According to Yawatch, Mimihagi likewise has the Soul King's power to see into the future. Umbrakinesis. Being a living shadow, Mimihagi seemingly has some control over darkness itself. When Yawatch tried to attack Mimihagi, it erected a wall of darkness in an attempt to stop the Quincy. Consumption. Yawatch implies that Mimihagi has the ability to assimilate him through consuming him. When Mimihagi tried to do so, Yawatch stopped it and absorbed Mimihagi instead. Stagnation governance. Mimihagi governs stagnation, the stopping of development, growth, progress, and change. As it represents stillness, it can prevent whatever that tries to change or develop from happening. Mimihagi can accomplish this via symbiosis with whatever being it is attached to. Life extension. Mimihagi bestows blessings upon those who offer it anything aside from an eye, since it already possesses its own. In turn, its power stops the progression of whatever is afflicting a body part or organ of those it blesses for a time. This grants a reprieve from the inevitable for a time, extending their life and making them capable of what they otherwise would not be capable of doing. With his diseased lungs taken from him, Yukitake lived and became a captain of the Godai 13. But he frequently coughs up blood and becomes too sick to fulfill his duties as a captain at times. Kamikaki, divine possession, viz. Divine vow. Kamikaki is a ritual that an individual who has had part of their body taken by Mimihagi can perform by sacrificing the rest of their body and their life in exchange for becoming the vessel for Mimihagi in the role of the right hand of the Soul King. Initially, the Kamikaki changes the user's shadow into something resembling Mimihagi itself. Later, the shadow will spread across the user's entire body before stretching toward the sky in the shape of a hand. In the final stages, darkness erupts from the user's orifices to form the hand. However, this is only a temporary solution in the event of the Soul King dying. Once the user dies, the effect ends. The full effect is initiated by the following incantation: God Mimihagi. God Mimihagi. Pray, release thou the power of thine august eye. Pray, abandon thou the power of thine august eye that thou hast buried within mine innards.
If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later, bye bye.